Welcome to Life in Abundance with Pastor Joseph from Forward in Faith Ministries. Pastor Joseph shares the secrets to enjoying the life that Jesus made available for you and I. Life in Abundance. Enjoy and be inspired.
This week we are talking about resolving conflict. Resolving conflict. Now, one thing that we must always come to terms with is that we can never avoid conflicts in our lives. At one point or the other, we will experience conflict, but we must learn how to resolve it. Actually, Jesus said in one scripture that it is impossible for offenses not to come. In other words, it is impossible for you not to experience conflicts in this life. We must learn how to deal with them. Let's take our scripture from the book of Proverbs chapter 15 verse 18. Proverbs chapter 15 verse 18. From the Amplified it reads, "A hot-tempered man stirs up strife, but he who is slow to anger and patient calms disputes." A hot-tempered man stirs up strife, but he who is slow to anger and patient calms disputes. Let's take it from the Message Bible. The Message reads, "Hot tempers starts fights. A calm, cool spirit keeps the peace." Hot tempers start fights. A calm, cool spirit keeps the peace. Now, one of the biggest contributors to escalating conflict is emotions. When we are in a conflict, when we are in a disagreement, there are many voices that begin to speak to us in that season. There is the voice of our emotions, which is telling us, tell them as it is, shout at them, scream at them. And there is the voice of reason, which is trying to bring things into perspective. And many times we tend to listen to the voice of emotions and ignore the voice of reason. And because people pay more attention to their emotions, the crisis or the conflict escalates. And this is because emotions are driven by the ego. We don't want to be found as the weak one in conflict. And as a result, we keep pushing, we keep screaming, we pump the temperatures high. But we must know that allowing our emotions to take over will only worsen the situation. The scripture is telling us here we must learn to control our tempers so that there may be peace. Hot tempers always start fight. When emotions are uncontrolled, it causes the conflict to escalate. Therefore, learn to control your temper. Learn to silence the voice of emotions, especially in conflict. Learn to listen better to the voice of reason. Learn to listen to the inner voice. Learn to heed to the voice of reason. Fight to stay sober in conflict. It's very, very important. It helps you manage and resolve conflict better. When emotions are not controlled, they may cause us to act unreasonably or speak unreasonably, which we'll regret later on. So we are saying today, control the emotions when you are in conflict. Learn to listen better to the voice of reason than the voice of emotions. Be calm, be cool. That way you bring peace into the situation. You can never bring peace in the situation if you are not at peace yourself. Remember, the scripture is saying, a hot-tempered man stirs up strife, but he who is slow to anger, he who is patient and calm, they bring peace. God bless you so much. Have a blessed week. Till meet again next week. Keep living life in abundance.